Today we are going to explore the wonderful world of triangles. Triangles. Alright, so first thing about triangles. The angle sum of a triangle. The sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So when you think about interior, if you want to do interior decorating or interior painting, that is on the inside of a building or a house or whatever it may be or a structure. So the sum of the inside angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Another way to write that would be x plus y plus z should equal 180. Why do we have three of those? Because in a triangle, there are three sides, which means there are three angles. Classifying triangles, you can do that two ways. You have by the angles, and then you can classify them by their sides. So when you classify a triangle by its angle, you have an acute angle. All acute angles are in this, you have an acute triangle, which means all of the angles in this triangle are acute. What does acute mean? It is less than 90 degrees. It is less than 90 degrees. Then you have an obtuse triangle. There is one obtuse angle within this triangle. One obtuse angle within this triangle. Then you have the right triangle. One of the angles is a right angle. Now you do not see 90 degrees here, but the right angle box means the same exact thing. So you have an acute triangle, obtuse triangle, and a right triangle. If I were to classify triangles by the sides, I have scalene, which means there are no congruent sides. How do I know that? Because there are no tick marks, is what I like to call it. Isosceles triangle. You have at least two sides that are congruent. So you see this line here, that is congruent, and this line here, which means these two are congruent. Then you have equilateral. All sides are equal. Hint the word equilateral. Okay? Every side equals the same thing. So that's how you classify the triangles by sides. So we go to examples. Example 1. Find the value of x. We know in every geometry problem that we have, the first thing to do is to write down the equation. So the equation is x plus y plus z equals 180. That is a z, not a 2. Alright? So after that, then we can fill in. You have x, we do not know what x is, plus 89 plus 54 equals 180. Combine like terms. 89 plus 54. It's 143. Bring down x. Then you're going to subtract 143 on both sides. This is solving one-step equations. If you need a refresher, that video is on the channel as well. Minus 143 will give us 30. This cancels out. X equals 37. So our missing angle here is 37 degrees. Find the measure of angle E in triangle DEF if the measure of angle D is 62 degrees and the measure of angle F is 39 degrees. So if you want, you can draw a picture. It tells you that the triangle is DEF. It says D is 62 degrees. We do not know E, so we'll leave that as X, and F is 39 degrees. Write our equation. We do not know what x is, so we leave the variable. Y, we can choose either one. And we do not, and F is 39. So we're gonna combine like terms, 62 plus 39, which is gonna give us X plus 101 and equals 180. Of course, we're gonna subtract 101 on both sides to cancel this out. X equals 79. We can check our work by simply adding all of the three angles together to make sure that they equal 180. So we have 62 plus 79 plus 39. That indeed equals 180. So now we want to classify each triangle by its angles and sides. We want to classify each triangle by its angles and its sides. Alright? So here, we can do angles first. We have a right angle and two acute angles. So whenever there is one right angle, I know that is a right triangle. So I know it's right. And then there are no congruent sides. I know this two ways. Because there are no congruent angles and there are no tick marks. So when there are no congruent sides, that's a scalene. So this is a right scalene triangle. You can try number 4. So when we're looking at number 4, first is the angles. I checked, there is no right angle, there is no angle greater than 90, so no obtuse angle. So all of these are acute angles. Have acute angles. And then my congruent sides, I see a tick mark here and I see one here, so I know that I have two congruent sides. So I know this is an acute, isosceles triangle. This is an acute isosceles triangle. Now, moving on to example 5, we're going to find the value of x. We want to find the value of x. Now these look a little different than what we have previously done because we were given all interior angles. Now we have an exterior angle, which means it is on the outside of the triangle. So one thing that we learned in the angle and line relationships on the earlier video was that when you have two adjacent angles, this forms a straight line, which means this angle here equals 180 degrees. So when I add 118 plus this, we'll call this y. 118 plus y, I should get 180 degrees. So if I want to do that, if I subtract 180 minus 118, that'll give me 62. So that's how I know this angle now is 62 degrees. Once again, These two angles added together equals 180. How do I know that? Two reasons. They are adjacent, all right? And they make a straight line. So these are supplementary angles. If I was to take this piece out, it would look just like this. Right? And we just solved these type of problems. I know this is a straight line, so these two must equal 180. So when I subtract 180 minus 118, I got 62, and that's how I know that that is 62. That's the only additional step into solving this problem. So now, I know x plus y plus z equals 180. I do not know what x is. Y is 62, I just found that out. And z is 25. Now when I add 62 and 25, I get 87. One-step equation. Subtract 87 on both sides. I get 180 minus 87. And I get 93. That cancels out. So x equals 93 degrees. Now, I have to do the same thing for this triangle. First, I want you to try it. Remember, you have to find this angle here. We'll name it y. You have to find that angle first, using the given information of 142 degrees. So you can pause at this time. All right, so we have this. So looking at this information here, we know this is a supplementary angle, so this equals 180. So if I did 180 minus 142, that would give me my inside angle, which is 38. So the first step is figuring out what y is. That's 38 degrees. So now I know x plus y plus z equals 180. If you notice, that's my first step for every problem that I have done dealing with triangles. X, I do not know it. Y, I just found that out to be 38. And 95 is the last one. Combine like terms. 38 plus 95 is 133. Bring down my plus x equals 180. If I subtract 133 on both sides, that cancels out. I get x equals 47. So, as stated, the only additional step is starting the problem, and that is just finding out what this y is. And it depends on what this exterior angle measure is. So now I want you to do 7 and 8 at this time. That is just finding x based on your interior angles that are given. So first things first, I know that I have to do x plus y plus z, that equals 180. I do not know what x is. Y, I'm going to just choose one. And for z, I choose the other one. And that equals 180. Combine like terms, 50 plus 53 is 103. So x plus 103 equals 180. I subtract 103 from both sides. X, this cancels out to be 0. X equals 77. find the value of x, would you subtract 80 from 105? No. Would you add 108 to 105? No. Would you add 145 to 105? No. Would you subtract 105 from 180? Yes. Where do we get that from? Well, if we were to work it out, start with our equation. We do not know x plus 60 plus 45 equals 180. We do not know x plus, this is 105, equals 180. Well, what happens here? You have one-step equation. You subtract 105 from both sides. So this is 180 minus 105. That will give you an answer of 75. So you here, this is the step. You subtract 105 from 180.